Hello there everyone and welcome back to Better Than Wolves. Don't really have any specific plans for today, but I want to just catch you guys up on where we're at. As you can see, the pig mob has been somewhat replicated. Still not ready yet, guys. Okay. Well, that's okay. There's at least a few of them now. Hard to contain, though. They were definitely... one disappeared shortly after... Oh, just a second. It's the Jane room monitor. So we need to figure out what we're going to need for the next steps. It occurs to me that mobs could actually spawn on top of those mushrooms. So that's something that might have to get taken care of at some point. So, if we're going to be auto-breeding pigs, we're going to need tanned leather in fairly significant quantities, because we're going to need to make... oh, hey. No, this makes glue, not anything useful. So tanned leather for the animal harnesses. We got 36 tanned leather. Do we have any dung left? See, a problem we ran into... it was all the dogs went feral because I screwed up our dog breeding system. It's all my fault, I'll admit it. And as a result, yeah, as I suspected, we have no dung left. So what you see... Oh, okay, we have one dung left. I take it back. One piece of poop left. So this 36 tanned leather is all we have. So as much as I really want to get going on the dang pig farm, I need to get the wolf farm organized first. Now, let's see. To do that, we're going to need a timer. And timers are best built with block dispensers. Now, do I have any block dispensers available immediately? I do not. Probably took them all to the end. Hold on. Potash. If I knew what potash was for, I would probably be more excited by that. But for some reason, I just cannot think of what potash is actually used for in Better Than Wolves. Soap? Might be used for making soap. No idea. My god, my inventory's a mess. Look at that. Okay. So we're going to need block dispensers, a little bit of redstone, which I've already had. What did I do with all that redstone? I think I left it. No, I'll grab those. So redstone, some blocks. Block dispensers we'll go get at the other building. So, okay. So we need tanned leather, which means we need a pig farm, or a dog farm. And we need a dog farm that is contained within a reasonable space. That's sort of the most important part. Now the dog farm, the poop farm, is got to be designed reasonably carefully, and it's got to be prepared to be fully automatic. So I got to figure out exactly what that's going to look like. Hey, I think it's a hardcore, I think it's a new moon. I said, no, maybe not. And it's always so hard to tell. We're so well lit around here these days. Oh, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, I think those chests are still filled to the brim. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Still haven't even touched all that jungle wood from the that jungle ripping party. So first we need to find where we're going to put this. My instinct is to not put it over here. So if this is the side that's going to have the mob system, it seems sensible to me that we put the dogs on the other side down here, somewhere. I might have to do some digging off camera, which would suck a little. Well, maybe, maybe not. So the dog farm needs to have a way of feeding the dogs. Now what I'm going to be doing is, at this level right here, I'm going to have a transfer hopper for bones and rotten flesh. So I'll be able to transfer the bones and the rotten flesh into a system that will go... Where is the rotten flesh going these days? Okay. Which one is supposed to be receiving rotten flesh? I thought it was this one, but maybe not. Where's it all winding up these days? It's actually a very good question. Oh, it is supposed to wind up in here. Okay. Potions section is where the rotten flesh... There we go, rotten flesh. So we're going to need a bit of that. So, might as well grab those potions. There we are. Because, okay. So the rotten flesh and the bones are going to get transferred across manually after the arrows are separated. Oh my god. I gotta get this stuff into secondary storage. This is getting really tiresome. Ooh, I also need... Where would I have left? Oh, yes, I remember where I left everything. I dumped it all in... No, I didn't. Did I use up all my block dispensers? No, that can't be right. I'm going to wind up picking those up, aren't I? Yep. Okay. Alright, so we're going to put it over here somewhere. Actually, probably in the chasm the next level down. So, I might have to get cut here and gather my gear and my wits. Yeah, okay. I am apparently going to have to go do some crafting and some preparation, so I'm going to have to do some digging off camera. Get this ready. There's the dispensers I'll need, so I just need a block dispenser as a time. No, I won't need a block dispenser as a timer. I am going to need somewhere to build, though. I got a plan. I fell in a hole. Oh, and I fell in a hole with all the XP. Okay. Well, good to know. Okay. Give me a few moments, and I'm going to do some digging, and I will be back in a moment. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back. We are, well, okay, we have the basic plan. My Matic's almost dead, so we're just going to hold off on digging for a minute while we contend. So, for those of you who may not have been here in Season 1, the wolf farm failed way back. I had an automated wolf farm that poop farm that I built. Requires an automatic feeder because wolves will go feral if they're not fed. Even pet wolves. And pet wolves, once they've gone crazy, will not get happy again. So that's a problem. And the reason that happened was because the timer that did the feeding was outside of the loaded chunk area. So the timer was inactive, but the wolves were active. And as a result, the timer was not running because it was not in a loaded chunk. As a quirk of Minecraft, chunks are 16 by 16 areas, which, as you can see, I've carved one out here. In Better Than Wolves, you have to find the chunk in the following way. If you look, the F3 is one of the few things that the F3 menu will do for us. It tells you how far you are from the chunk boundary. The maximum distance you can get is 7. You can be exactly 7 blocks away from it. And that is the center. That's the precise center of the chunk, the 4 blocks that are 7 blocks away. So this corner right here is precisely the center of the block, of the chunk. Now, if you want to find the edge, what you have to do is you have to find the 0, 0, 0, 0 position. And I'll show you what I mean there. So this is a 1. This is a distance 1 right here. That's a distance 0 right there. And that's a distance 0 right there. So this right here is a 0, 0 position. 1 of 4. And this spot right here is the quadruple 0 position. Because all 4 blocks right here are right on the chunk, are basically a corner. So to find it, really you just find the point where it goes from 1 to 0 anywhere, and then 1 to 0 in the other direction, and your corner is basically adjacent to these 2 blocks. So when I am within range of this chunk, this entire area is loaded regardless of my distance from it. So within this area, this is our space budget for a wolf farm. So the following things have to go in here, and we're gonna make a shopping list. Now, unfortunately, actually there could be a solution. There could be. How would I do that? Is there anything that generates a redstone signal when it's empty? I got an idea. Okay. So we're going to put in this chunk here, this is going to be complex, the following things. Number 1, a minecart unloader. An unloader. So an unloader. That is going to be unloading the reeds, the rotten flesh, and the bones, or bone meal. Sorry, I'm going to definitely have the bone meal I should be able to separate all three. The bones and... Okay, we'll probably... okay, so we're going to have a dog... So it's going to be unloading rotten flesh, bones, and reeds. It'll be a two-stop loading. Either it'll be 1 or 2 carts, probably... Might even be 2 unloaders. 2 question mark? Okay, fine. Times 2 question mark. Okay. Number 2 will be the processing. So it'll be a dog food maker. It'll be a kibble. Kibble. We'll just call it kibble. Okay, so kibble is going to be made in a cauldron, and we're going to be using a very, very similar system to the way we're processing, well, basically almost identical to this. So it's going to unfortunately require a complex timing mechanism and a pre-holding hopper, a hopper. It's also going to require its own dedicated power system. It's going to require an on-chunk water wheel. So number 3 is going to be a 4... I want to have 4... I think I want to have 4 wolves. So we want a 4-way splitter. And that is done with a turntable that has a bud switch with a dispenser on top of it. The bud switch, every time it rotates, triggers a redstone pulse, and that redstone pulse goes straight into the block dispenser. On top of that block dispenser is a hopper, which the kibble goes into. So each time it rotates, it generates a pulse and spits a kibble out into a dog area. The next will be the wolf feeders. And that is going to consist of a detector block to see when the poop goes by, and a dispenser that will spit out the kibble to the wolf. And number 5 will be another... I'm not sure if it's going to be a minecart, a loader, and that will go to wherever the storage area is. So that's the primary system. The secondary thing we're going to need is a kibble timer. So that'll be 2A kibble timer. We're also going to need a on-site mech. And that should probably do it. Now, the parts that aren't going to be on site are going to be obviously the bomb system, which hopefully won't be a huge issue. Because I cannot separate these things, I don't think there was any way to separate rotten flesh from one of these 2 items. I think it was the full or empty bottles. And there's no way to separate the bones from the sticks. Or was it the arrows from the sticks? Yeah, I think it's the... Hold on. Do I have... I wonder if my notes have survived the separation system. Oh my gosh. No. Okay, well, I guess I'm leveling some more. I keep falling down that hole. So I might have to do my little bit of homework and remember... Because if it's the arrows and the sticks, who cares? The arrows and the sticks, they can be kept together. Unsort. Here we are. Bones and sticks. Dang it. Yeah, you see, there's the problem. Yeah, flesh and bottles. And so we are going to need a buffering system and a warning system that's going to turn on a light somewhere when we have any suspicion that there's no kibble. Because there's going to be a manual step to this, and that's the scary part. Warning light. And a warning light. So the warning light is going to be triggered when the kibble maker does not detect. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little feeder system. So when items come out here, when the mechanical system trigger tips to do this, somehow we're going to have this thing detector block here that's going to see the items go past and validate that items came out of the cauldron. If no items come out of the cauldron, it sets a warning light. Probably an RS NOR latch that I might have to reset myself. We'll see. At least I'm fireproof. That's a small favor. So the problem is, of course, that's a lot of digging ahead. And in an ideal world, I would be doing this with dynamite. The other way to do it would be to build a tower. I don't really feel inclined to build another tower. Let's get rid of that F3 menu. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to get those powder cakes I was going to make and make use of them. Because I don't... The end game of this is the creation of a system. The end game, the long-term end game here is creating a factory that will allow us to medium easily produce the explosives. The blasting charges is my long-term goal. Okay, if you guys hear that whining noise, I apologize. It could also be my tinnitus kicking up a little. Let's see. I just hear this crazy whining noise, but I think it might be me. So, way back when, actually before we did the reset, I had been gathering the materials together for a blasting party. I hadn't really decided what it was going to look like. What just happened there? Uh-oh. Oh dear. That's never a good sign. Apparently my shift key is stuck. So, yeah, I hate it when this happens. Yeah, it doesn't let me pick anything up. I've had this happen once or twice in the history. It usually has required restarting the game. Apparently that's going to be the case again today too. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's everything I'm going to need to make this stuff. But for obvious... Oh, actually... care and attention. Ha! There we are. Full stack of blasted powder cakes. All I need now is a flint and steel, which will require a little bit of care and attention here. Obviously, I'm going to have to do this, go and fix this. But we're going to save ourselves a little time by... Alright, so how can we do this? We need the flint, we need the steel, so we need to go boom, boom. No. Boom, 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 boom. Ha! Now that's the way you trick the game. Okay. I got flints and steels. We've got our powder kegs. Yeah, so we're going to use the... I got to melt down my pick, too, while I'm thinking about it. So, sorry this isn't going to be such an exciting episode. It is going to be a short one, though. I'm going to do a little bit of prep and off-camera. Gather some of the gear. Get my tools rebuilt. Not entirely sure how I'm going to do that without the ability to... Well, that's why I'm going to do it off-camera, because everything's acting up on me right now. But there's my 4 soul forged steel. I'll probably make 2 of them, because I'm going to be doing a lot of digging. So when we come back, I should have a few floors of that chunk carved out, and the hardest part is basically every square inch of this project has to be compacted into a 16 by 16 area. Which sounds like a lot of space, but it's not exactly a huge space. I mean, let's just have a look at a few of our things. The unloader is done. I've done that before. The unloader for several systems is definitely compacted into there, barring maybe the timer portion of it. The, I've still been trying to think of whether or not I can actually make the unloader a on-request system. I guess the only way to do that would be to have the water streams trigger. But if you look at the timer I've built here for the clock, I mean, well, okay, let's count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, that's interesting. Now, obviously, I could make this mess over here maybe a little more compact with a block dispenser timer. Okay, and then this is, so that's 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, okay. This whole system is almost within a chunk, with the exception of the fact that the actual off system that it's timing for is also going to have to be within the space, which is going to require maybe a little bit of tidying of this whole system, which there were a few very useful suggestions that would probably potentially help. I might be able to make this a little bit more compact in the future. So that's good news. But all I need to do, you look, this corner isn't in use, and all I need to do is have it triggering basically this mechanism right here, the cauldron, the holding system, the cauldron emptier, and the yeah. Okay, that's not unreasonable. I mean, in an absolutely, utterly ideal world. I was going to say, in an absolutely, utterly ideal world, this whole system would be in that chunk. And there is absolutely no reason why I couldn't move it there. Most of the time when I'm working around here, I'm going to be close enough that both chunks are active. And, oh, just 1 second. I think I might move this system over into the chunk where the the poop farm's going to be. So we'll talk about that later. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.